Dude, I had a lot of people, they didn't think your hair was real until they saw you in person.
Photoshop, baby.
This is the first episode with the new dude.
Slim Shady. The Asian Slim Shady.
The Asian Ken. I like that better.
Kenergy. Are you ready?
Some big Kenergy. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's get it.
I feel like all we've done is pods.
Pod. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court. We are your host, Tyler and
Jimmy Miller.
Jimmy Miller was in the flesh.
Surprise,
Surprise.
At an event.
KOTC has made a lot of improvements, a lot of strides, and we actually had some merch, some T-shirts for sale.
Get those?
I was slinging those around. We were literally walking around with a dolly, pushing it, and selling those just like little school kids.
That was honestly impressive. I mean, there's got to be like some rags to riches story about some, clothing designer that started slinging them out of their trunk, and that's what we did.
Anyways, we ended up selling quite a bit. However, we still have some left over. Next week, we will get those updated on our website, and then we will sell the rest of them.
Where are they?
Here at my house now.
Oh, you brought them home?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So we have two shirts, a KOTC podcast, very plain, very on brand. And then we have another one, which is Where's Jimmy?
It says, Where's Jimmy?
Where's Jimmy? So we will have those listed on our site if you're interested in getting those. We've never shipped merchandise before, and so it will all be new. We're not trying to make a killing on the profit, and so we will try to keep these low, but we do want to break even. And so I think the cost on the shirts, we will be selling them at one for $25 a piece.
Great.
And I think that will include shipping, which shipping will kill us, but we want to get our name out there. All right. We had a fun week last week.
Fun week, busy week. We had all the PPA here in Salt Lake at the PPA Utah Open.
Yes, it was at the Salt Palace Convention Center, which I did not know. The Jazz used to play their basketball games there.
Yeah, that's the old Jazz arena. Now
I didn't know that.
They've completely revamped it, and it looks nothing like it did when the Jazz played there. But it is a massive convention center.
Okay.
You stayed at the Hyatt. I mean, how long is a walk from the Hyatt to the other side of the convention center?
I would not know because I drove there every day.
So you stayed at a hotel in the convention center?
In the convention center and then drove there,
Still drove. That's how big it is. So that gives you an idea. But
parking was $20 a day. Whew.
That one lot across the street is only 10.
Yeah, but I didn't want to put my car outside.
Oh, that guy. Bad and bougie over here.
Come on now.
So the PPA put on a show. They had a court there. They had the PPA. What do they call it? The PPA.
I'm not sure.
They call it something. The PPA
court.
No, well, yeah. They had a court that is a radar gun.
Yes, which was for sure messed up because everybody was scoring very low. I normally score in the 60s. My fastest serve was 55.
Rafa was 60.
He got 65. I think Grayson got 67, but everybody else, like even I think Hunter Johnson, all those guys were in the 50s or so.
Dasky was in the 50s.
Yeah.
With the Proton.
Yeah. Yes, so Pickler was the title sponsor of the last tournament here in Salt Lake, which was really cool. Also, they sponsored this podcast. They're the title sponsor of this King of the Court podcast. They are the premier indoor pickleball facilities around the world. They just signed some deals with Canada, Australia. They are going international, baby. Let's go.
We're going to go to Australia grand openings, right?
Down under. Everyone loves Australia.
Yeah. So check them out. If you are looking for a place to play indoors, get a little membership. It's just like a gym membership, basically.
Yep.
Right? They have a great community. They have great courts. And if you're looking to maybe start your own business, franchise, reach out to them as well.
Reach out to them. Tell them the guys at KOTC sent you. Also, Pickleball Central is another sponsor of our show. They are the premier, the number one online retailer for all things pickleball. They sell paddles, bags, gear, anything you want. Go get it. Our code, KOTC0824, works for another week, and then it will shift to KOTC 0924 in September.
True story. I had a guy walk up to me, and he said, "Hey, I got a couple questions." And I was like, "Okay." He said, "What do you think of the Proton paddles?" Mm-hmm. The Series 1. And I said, "Love them. Here, check out the video." And then he said, "What's the best ball machine?" Mm-hmm. And I said, "Honestly, I've used a lot of them, but that Titan ball machine, nothing's better. And he said, well, money's not an option. I'm going to buy it right now. And he used our code.
No, he didn't.
I promise.
At the facility?
At the facility, right then and there.
You saw him make the purchase?
Well, he had his phone out. I assume maybe he was,
gaslighting you, dude.
Yeah, but he told me he was in.
Also, last sponsor for this segment is Stack Athletics. They were there with their trailer. We did a ton of podcasts with a bunch of different athletes, players, everything like that inside their trailer. And so they make incredible premier clothing.
It was also about 60 degrees in that venue. Mm-hmm. The AC was pumping.
Definitely on.
I think that they're trying to prove a point that on pickleball brackets it said no AC. And so they're trying to prove a point that they had
actually we do have AC.
We have a great AC. So it was actually freezing in there. And Stack was selling out of sweatshirts.
Yeah.
They could
smart.
Yeah, way smart.
That green sweater was really sweet. Looked good.
Yeah, I wonder if Stack, they couldn't keep them in stock. So.
Go to stackathletics.com and use code KOTC to support us and get you the best product at the best price.
Did you see who was wearing Stack on Sunday?
Everybody was wearing Stack.
While they played?
Who?
And I don't know if it was just, I don't know what's going on, but Anna Bright had on a Stack
Anna
dress.
B?
Anna B wore a Stack dress on Championship Sunday.
Amazing.
Anna B. So, anyways.
Okay, congrats. We love to see it. Okay, all right, so this last weekend was fun, different. It was in the convention center, so we had the rolled out courts. What were your thoughts on that, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think that those courts are fine, but they need to be put on a perfect surface. Mm-hmm. And some of those rolled out courts were put over drains.
Yeah, or electrical boxes. And there's places like you would step and like the ball wouldn't bounce. There were some dead spots. I asked some of the facility people who put it together, and they were like, honestly, like these courts are fine if it's on a good surface. And we would have to basically come out here with a grinder and fix all of these surfaces, and we're not able to do that. That convention center is at least, 20 to 30, 40 years old?
Yeah,
so the concrete in there is pretty old.
Yeah, and so I think that they're using the exact same courts for Vegas, and I think Vegas is going to be a little better because that's a brand new hotel.
Not only that, but from what I've heard, they are building up essentially platforms, and it'll be perfect.
Yeah. So the ball wasn't like, there was some issues with some bounces and things, but considering for what it was, I don't think it was horrible.
The bigger issue that I had was actually the spacing within the court. Yeah. So the spacing, because the courts are only a specific dimension, they don't make these championship or extra championship size courts. And so on the sides, you didn't have a lot of room. And then at the back, especially for singles, you ran into the back.
Well, that one video board just kept going out over and over again, I think, because so many people were pressed up against it to return service. And
then on the outside courts, it was like the court surface, the acrylic surface, and then it was just the smooth concrete when it ended. And so that's a weird combination. If you need extra room, your foot slides on the slippery surface, and then,
Yeah, like I said, for what it was, they did the best that they could, but those are little things that I think they will definitely be back to Salt Lake. Mm-hmm. I was told that the Utah Sports Commission actually gave them the facility.
It was like donated.
And the facility was great. I just think that when they come back, they'll make little improvements. Mm-hmm. And be able to fix certain things. So it was cool, but it did feel a little convention center-y.
Yes,
championship
for sure.
Court, I thought looked good.
Yeah. Apparently on TV, the TV producers really liked it. They liked the back drapes behind it. They liked the tight feeling of the court. So we'll see. We'll see what changes they make.
And the crowd was great.
Crowd was awesome. Yeah, Utah really loves pickleball. We talk about it all the time, but no joke. I had a owner of a paddle company come up to me, shout out Proton, and he said, "You guys got to talk about how every single MLP event has to be played indoors."
Really, Charles Darling?
Charles, yeah. He wants every single MLP to be indoors.
Yeah, that's your stance too.
Yeah.
In fact, we talked to Connor Pardo. It's releasing as we're doing this pod.
Yeah.
And he actually said he wanted to do like a 14-6 split outdoor, 14-6 indoor, but he wanted to go 14-6 the other way.
I actually want to go all indoor now.
You do?
Yeah.
Even if you had to play on that, like those
it's fine.
Rolled out courts?
Yeah.
You don't have any issue with that?
No issue.
There's no wind?
No wind,
rain.
no sun.
It actually poured outside one day.
So I want to go back and I want to do a clickbaity tweet, but had we been outside at the same time, there would have been at least 6 to 8 events that were canceled, that did not finish.
It was beautiful weather.
People don't realize that. People don't realize that when it's indoors because it's perfect.
Yeah. The other thing that a lot of pros mentioned is that they love that they could just walk like everywhere. Like, because for once it was actually in downtown of a
Guess
city.
what? There weren't any lines at the bathroom. The parking wasn't that big of an issue.
No. Well, that one big lot was fine. Yeah. Parking wasn't a big issue. Ooh, there was tons of bathrooms. The pros could actually walk from their hotels everywhere, so they not many.
You're
of them
not getting killed by the sun. You don't have to wear sunscreen, which I never do to begin with. But
a lot of them weren't getting, so there wasn't rental cars, so that saves on costs.
Yeah. Anyways, one can dream. All right, let's move on into the actual matches.
Yeah.
So Ben Johns was not there. Annalie Waters was not there. Who was there? Anyone else notable?
Catherine Parento,
Christian
wasn't there.
Alshon. Christian Alshon.
Yeah.
Jay de Villiers, Quang Duong.
Brooke Buckner wasn't
Buckner.
there.
Yeah, so there were a couple players that decided to not play this, whether it was because it was indoors or just Utah or they just wanted to break.
Yeah.
We don't know, but they will be playing in the next tournament, Vegas, which starts today, actually.
Yeah, so Vegas, they were rolling up courts on Saturday night to take down to Vegas.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So let's just start. I think let's go straight women's singles.
Okay.
So, yeah, you didn't have Annalie. But we did have the return of the Brashas. Mm-hmm. So Mary was there. Mary's always had a great run. And you didn't have Brooke Buckner and Catherine Parento, who have kind of probably been the 3 top singles players this year. Leia was a high seed, and she was actually upset early by a girl from Boise, Idaho.
Yep.
Mariana, how do you even say it? Petrie?
I'm not going to try, but that sounds right.
She's coached by Coach Maria, Susanna Barr's coach.
Let's go.
Who I spent some time with on the Black Bears.
Very nice.
She knows her stuff. Coach Maria knows her stuff.
Okay.
So that was awesome. She made a good run. She actually beat Leia.
This was her first tournament ever, right?
Yeah.
Or pro?
I think it was her first.
PPA.
Had to be pro PPA because I think she plays like money balls and stuff in Boise. And so she ended up she ended up beating Leia, and then she beats Lane Sleeth, and she rolls Lane Sleeth. She beat Leia 12-10 in the third, and then she rolls Lane Sleeth 4-4, and then she takes Judith Castillo to 3.
Yeah.
Which was, just a good run for her. So props to.
I love to see it. I love to see
Mariana.
competition, especially in women's singles.
Yeah.
Hope to see more of it.
Yeah. And then Salome.
My girl.
Your girl Salome, your partner this week.
Tomorrow.
Did you talk to her at all, the event?
No, I only saw her from a distance, singles day.
From a distance.
Yeah.
Well, she played the buzzsaw that is now Kate Fahey in the second round.
Okay. What was their score?
3-1.
Ooh.
Fahey, let me just give you guys a run. Okay, let me back up. Kate Fahey, I showed up on Thursday. The very first match I watched was Kate Fahey versus Jessie Irvin.
Did you know she's not contracted?
Kate?
Yeah.
Yeah, she took a buyout.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, she took a buyout at the very beginning of all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So the very first match, and it was a very, very low buyout, by the way. So Connor, I would call her. I'd call Chris Hayworth. There's a few people I'd call. Okay, so the very first match I watched was Kate and Jessie. And I commented, it might have been to you or someone else, and I said, man, Jessie is moving really well.
Wow, look how the tides turn.
She is all over the place. And somebody said, it wasn't you because they said something back funny. They said, that's just because she doesn't like trying in doubles. Or they said something funny about that she lets her partner in doubles. Anyways, Jessie looked like mobile, agile. But she lost 6 and 7 to Kate. Then Kate plays Salome, beats her 1 and 3. Then she plays Cade Pearson. I actually don't know who Cade Pearson is, but Cade Pearson had a good run too. Beat Liz Trulock, she won by withdrawal over Dominic Schaefer. And then Kate beats her 3 and 1.
Okay.
So look at this: 6 and 7, 3 and 1, 3 and 1. Then she plays Judith Castillo, who's very good. One of the better singles players, right, in the world. Beats her 3 and 6.
Wow.
She is a monster.
Yeah.
On the other side of the bracket, I think the bottom half of the bracket was much tougher. Mary Brasha, Zoe, Caitlin Christian, Lina, all made good runs. Zoe and Caitlin Christian played in the semis, and Caitlin beat her in a
Yes. Yep.
three gamer. Do you say sets or games?
Games. Sets is tennis term.
I know, but a lot of players still say sets.
Yeah. That's because they're not converts yet.
I know, but like they've been playing for a long time.
Who says it?
Kawamoto say sets.
Oh, come on, guys.
They say in set one this happened.
Yeah, it's games.
And so in the gold medal match, Kate, she was up 10-7.
Well, she was down 4-7.
Down
She was down 4-7 in the third.
in the third.
And then goes back up to 10-7.
Yeah. Well, she's down 4-7, maybe even 3-7. Calls a timeout.
Yeah.
Sits down. Anna Bright was sitting by me, her and H.
Yeah.
Anna Bright gets up, walks down to her bench, okay? Gives her some words of wisdom, comes back, and Kate goes on a run.
Yeah.
Is Anna Bright the best coach in the game?
Kyle McKenzie would like to have a word.
Well, whatever she said to Kate, Kate goes on a run, goes up. She goes up 10-7. No, goes up 9-7, I think. And then Caitlin ties it 9-9. And then Kate closes it out and beats her 11-9 for her first PPA gold.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Kate Fahey, the 14 seed.
Yeah.
So congrats to her, Michigan alum, unsigned. If you're the APP, don't you throw a bag at her?
Yeah, but I mean, I think Kate would want to play on the PPA side.
So what do you think Kate Fahey made for winning women's gold?
Since she's not signed at all,
Yeah.
maybe 2,000 to 3,000, if that.
Crazy.
Probably 1 to 2.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, is she?
I have no idea, but
Is she losing money playing pickleball right now? Probably. Breaking even.
Probably close to breaking even. She might be losing because this is. I mean, she's normally not getting gold.
Yeah.
At least she hasn't yet, and so.
We also had a interview in a car with Vulcan,
Yes.
and we have a special guest appearance by Kate Fahey.
Yep. That 30 seconds was glorious.
It was right after she won, literally right after she won. So, anyways, congrats to Kate. She's honestly like on the court, she is fiery.
Yeah.
She's fist pumping. She's screaming. She's yelling. Off the court, she's like the quietest person.
There's a lot of those types.
Yeah. So, all right, men's singles. Are you shocked by anything in men's singles?
A little bit. So Rafa beat Tyson.
Yeah.
Well, not only beat him, but he beat him pretty bigly.
Yeah, Rafa beat down Tyson. I mean, I watched it. I was right there. Couple things real quick. Brandon French beat Alex Newman, which is a pretty good singles win.
It is, yeah.
And then he took Pablo to 3. Is Brandon French a singles specialist now?
He might be.
So that was impressive. Your boy Noe had a pretty good. He played Fed tough. Marshall Brown beat Gabe Tardio.
Oh, Gabe. Okay, yeah, yes.
He beat Gabe Tardio. This is what's crazy. There's some crazy updates. Hunter beat Dylan Frazier 11-2, 11-2. Roddy beat Hayden. Naveen Beasley beat J-Dub. And
Singles is tough.
yeah,
Singles
Augie beat Colin Schick.
Okay.
And then Rafa beat Tyson 6-2.
Yeah.
And then Grayson Golden beat Jack Sock again.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about your match really quick. You played Gabe Joseph in one of like the longest 2-game matches I've ever seen for singles. 15-13, 13-11.
Yeah.
It seemed like both you had multiple match points in each or game points in each game.
Yeah, I think I had more than he did, but yeah.
Just a battle.
Yeah.
I mean, Gabe's tough. He's good.
Gabe is streaky. I mean, most people would put him in the top 10. If he's on, he's probably top 5.
Baby Curios.
Baby Curios, yeah.
He felt like you hooked him.
Yeah, I talked to him after the match. I guess there were 2 calls. There was one call that was very close. I obviously saw the ball out, and you and a bunch of Connor Pardo and a bunch of other people were really close to it. And I looked at you, and you guys didn't look at me. And so I don't know if
because we knew you were wrong. We didn't want to make eye contact.
Everyone looks away, and so yeah, you could have corrected me. I would have overturned it.
It's not our call. I actually don't even know what call you're talking about, but I do remember Pardo saying I think that was in, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Then I got on the Discord and people said 50% saw it in, 50% saw it out, but I saw it out, and then he said there was another ball that I didn't even realize. He said it was close.
So you guys are good now?
Yeah, I mean we talked after the match
because he won.
Yeah.
Had he lost, would he have been pissed?
Probably.
Should we buy him some socks?
Some socks, yeah. Some Stance socks.
Yeah. So good run for Gabe. All right. So we get to the semis. Rafa Hewitt making the semis. Rafa Hewitt played on Championship Sunday. Not only did Rafa beat Tyson, this is the other thing that we're not talking about, but then he goes and he smashes Grayson Golden, 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
Grayson Golden, who calls himself the #1 singles player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Rafa destroyed him. When Rafa is on, we know this about him.
Mm-hmm.
You've played him in singles.
Yes.
When he's on, he's
great. Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, and then he goes 3 with Connor Garnett.
Yeah, yep.
So singles Rafa had a great run. Championship, Fed and Garnett.
Real quick, he played in bronze. What was the score in bronze?
He lost in bronze to Hunter 3-4.
Okay.
So Hunter Johnson took the bronze.
So whatever he took wore off by that day.
It wore off, yeah. Fed, I haven't really seen Connor Garnett dismantled like that in singles in a long time. I mean, Fed, it was just Fed's day. And so Fed wins, what did they say, his 10th?
It's got to be somewhere up
I think
there.
they said his 10th singles medal.
I want to play Fed first round in a PPA tournament in singles. He would light me up, but it'd be fun.
Give you your chance.
Yeah.
Well,
I've only played him one time.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Well, I got destroyed. This is when I was using that green Vulcan paddle, and it was like 7 ounces, and I could not get any power behind it, and I was just getting passed left and right.
Oh. Yeah, Fed, I mean, good win for Fed. He beats Connor Garnett 11-2, 11-4. I mean, he's, like we've said time and time again, he's definitely the singles GOAT this year. Here's something that happened. Hunter Johnson and Chris Hayworth were playing.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Hayworth wins game 1, but in game 1 there was a call that was questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Chris appeals to the ref. The ref ends up overturning the call, saying Chris was correct. And I guess Hunter kind of berates the ref.
Okay.
And like almost I'm going to use the word bullies the ref. So then throughout the rest of the match, there was 6 or 7 very close questionable calls that Chris would appeal to the ref on. And it was almost like the ref, in Chris's words, was scared to make a call against Hunter after that. Or wasn't going to make a call unless they're absolutely sure.
Yeah.
And Hunter ends up winning the next 2 games. And it was like by game 3, it was like Chris, I don't want to use the word gave up, but he was like kind of over it. Like there's no chance because he's going to call every line tight and I'm getting no help from the ref.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? You think that like the refs maybe have some sort of like there's influence there if a player is that outspoken? Is it possible that they just don't want to deal with it?
Unfortunately, yes, 100%. I mean, you see it in tennis, you see it in probably basketball or football too. But yeah, you for sure see it in pickleball. And there's a lot of these older refs that might be newer that are coming into the sport, and they just don't have the courage. They don't want to stand up to these players. And then you have also some refs that kind of go on the other side. If a player starts even talking to them a little bit, they might try to get that player in trouble or something just by them talking to them a little bit. But yeah, you for sure see that quite a bit. I'd say you see that more so than the other end.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's good. And so that's what I was getting at with the serves is I feel like so many of these refs, they're afraid to call illegal serves.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and there were some big serves this weekend
and you can't let that happen as a ref.
Yeah.
You can't let a player's words, emotions, actions dictate how you feel or what you call.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's part of being a referee, right? But they are also only human.
Yeah.
And they're going to make errors and they're going to let emotions and feelings get in the way of things. So
moving on, men's doubles.
Yeah, men's doubles. This is, I mean, it's interesting. Dylan and J-Dub lost again.
Yes.
This is 3 tournaments.
Who'd they lose to? Oh, Pablo and H in two games, right?
2 games, 12-10, 11-5.
Yeah.
They actually went 3 with Pessa and Craig Johnson and won game 3, 11-7. Yeah, that's a little bit of a surprise. The other thing that is as consistent as the sunrise is Travis Rettenmeyer lost the first game he played.
Okay.
He's on a little bit of a rough run here.
Okay.
He did make it to the round of 16 by withdrawal.
Okay.
And then he lost to Pablo and Hayden 0-7.
Okay.
With Wyatt Stone. I mean, and then he lost to Mix too, first round.
Who was it to? Oh, it was
to
Hayworth and
Genie.
yeah.
He's on a little bit of a dry spell here. So, and then also in men's doubles.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, I just felt like it was important. The other thing in men's doubles, so obviously Daskew and Tardio win it, but Daskew and Tardio almost didn't get there.
Yes,
Hunter Johnson and Rafa took him to 3. And
well,
then
not only that, Jaume and Tyson
took him to 3. And then Pablo and Hayden
Yeah.
took him to 3, and it ended up being 13-11 in what I think was probably the match of the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, Hayden and Gabe are best friends. Mm-hmm. They went to STK 5 nights in a row and just ate steak every single night because they're 18-year-old kids that make way too much money. Driving their Raptors and Teslas.
Hey, Hayden got a little pudgy.
Of course he did. Of course he did. He's got gold chains, and I love both of those guys. But they know each other's games really well, and that was an insane battle. Mm-hmm. At 11-11, it's possible that a ball maybe ticked Tardio's paddle. Mm-hmm. Tardio says it didn't. Hayden thought it did. Mm-hmm. Someone in the stands who's very high up at PPA thought it did. Mm-hmm. But in the end, Tardio and Daskew pull it out.
Pull what out?
Pull it out, yes. But every one of their games went 3, which is crazy. Like, they could have been upset multiple times.
Yeah, yep.
And then a couple other, Augie and Fed had a good run.
Me and Connor Garnett had a insanely close second round, which I thought we would have done a little bit better. But
AJ and Spencer
we played
Smith?
AJ Kohler and
well,
Spencer
right?
Smith, and I think this was the best I've seen AJ play in quite some time.
Yeah. So that's the other thing is, this is what's crazy is like James and Matt Wright play Jack Sock and Colin Schick, and they lose game 2 11-5. Mm-hmm.
Then they win
11-0.
Yeah.
And then they play you guys, and they lose game 2 12-10, and then they win 11-1.
Yep.
And
Were you there for that?
No.
Okay.
And then they roll through Augie and Fed 4-8. So we get to championship Sunday, and Daskew, Tardio, James, and Matt. I think that on paper, you got to give the edge to James and Matt, right? Mm-hmm. Like on paper. And Daskew and Tardio, James Ignatowicz, there's no other way to say it. He was bad.
Well, not when he played against us, though.
Yes.
He was incredible. He did not miss any balls. His rolls were so heavy.
Yeah. Well, obviously he had a good week because he made Championship Sunday in 2 different events, right? He made him in men's and mixed. But on Championship Sunday, I don't know what happened. I don't know where he stayed up late. I don't know if he just wasn't feeling it. Sometimes you just have a bad day. I don't know if it was the effects of Anna Bright breaking his heart. Whatever it was, him and Matt were terrible.
Yeah.
I actually thought Matt was fine. Matt was Matt. He probably wasn't as good as he normally is, but he's still pretty good.
How does Klaus feel about Matt right now?
Well, Klaus obviously made a massive mistake. Riley Newman, by the way, lost in the round of 16.
They almost lost their first round, though.
Yeah.
To Scarpa and
Dow. Yeah, that went 3.
Yeah.
James just was not good. He wasn't playing big. He was missing dinks, and Daskew and Tardio just honestly B-slapped him. It was 11-6, 11-6, 11-1. Incredible. So that's Gabe Tardio's second gold of the year in men's with his second different partner.
Who was the first one?
With Fed, right? Was it Fed?
I can't remember. I know it's his second, but I can't remember.
I thought it was with Fed.
Okay.
It wasn't with Andre.
Okay.
Or was it? I don't know. Anyways, that's Gabe's second gold medal. And then in the bronze match, I went over and watched that one, and that was a close match too. It was close in game 1. And Augie and Fed pick up the bronze.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I said that Augie hasn't had great results recently. I said Daskew hasn't had great results since he
Are you backtracking?
has come back. And I feel like maybe...
Can you throw my name out there? Say I haven't had great results?
I feel like they owe me. Yeah, I feel like they owe me for motivating them. Right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Can you apologize?
No, they're welcome. They should freaking pay me for that.
They're welcome.
They should pay me for that.
Oh.
Right?
So are you going to take a tip jar and just say, hey, whoever wants to...
Yeah, if you want to play well, let me call you overrated. Because...
All right.
Yeah.
Do you still think Jessie is overrated?
Well, we haven't got to mixed doubles yet, but yeah, I think that she's not had good. She hasn't won in 2 years.
Well, minus this last tournament.
That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't crazy for me to say that.
The only thing I'll say, I think mixed doubles is Jessie's best event.
Well,
I think it's more so than women's doubles.
that's fair. I mean, but she also had a pretty good run in women's doubles too. It wasn't bad. She lost to Anna and Rachel. Let's go women's doubles really quick.
Okay, go women's doubles really quick.
Anna and Rachel won.
Yes.
I mean, I think on paper you'd expect them to win. That was the,
Yep.
There was a really good match between Jackie and Lucy against Anna and Rachel. They ended up winning game 2. Rachel kind of, I don't know, she kind of melted down a little bit.
She's way overrated, right?
No, I don't want her to win this weekend. So she seemed a little bit shook. I don't think Rachel likes me.
Why? Did she say something to you?
I just felt like when I'm around her, I can feel it. You can just feel it.
Don't you have a restraining distance you have to keep?
No,
30 feet away from her?
She's above it. She's above 18. Anyways, they had a really good match. Jackie and Lucy were freaking dominating in the middle of that match, and then Anna kind of just took over. I mean, Anna's Anna. She's insanely good.
Yeah.
But I also got a lot of grief for my rant about Jackie's forehand and how good it was.
Okay, yeah.
So
it's not that good, huh?
No, it's really good. It's insanely good. Like, it's ridiculous. But let me just say that Jade is really good at pickleball too. Mm-hmm. And Jade hit some freaking forehand winners down the middle. Like, yeah. This segment's brought to you by the Kawamotos.
Kawamotos.
They're not cows. Remember when Jade told us that?
Yeah.
She said, we're not cows. So the Kawamoto family,
Uh-huh.
they're going to pay us to say all the nice things about.
Okay.
Just kidding. Okay, so funny Anna Bright story.
All right. Hilarious. Can't wait.
You were there.
I was there.
So we went to a stack party. Mm-hmm. Second Summit Hard Cider Company. They had pickleball courts. And Glenn Lucy, who listens to the show, Glenn, I'm sorry, but dick move. So we go to the stack party. Anna Bright shows up. Mm-hmm. Everyone's having a great time. So she decides to step on the court, and she's playing left-handed.
With her offhand.
And she's dressed very nice. She's not even in pickleball clothes. Mm-hmm. She looks very pretty, dressed up, not, having a good time playing with some amateurs. Mm-hmm. Glenn Lucy, who, for you guys don't know, is like a senior pro. He's always all over the pickleball forums, kind of an outspoken guy, steps onto the court, wants to play with her. Mm-hmm. Glenn Lucy, Nasty Nelson's Anna Bright.
Yeah.
Is that the ultimate party foul?
I think there's a lot of factors that play into it. I mean, the setting, does he know her? Is he friends with her?
Nope.
Yeah.
It was a douche move. It was literally a dick move. And then, not only does he Nasty Nelson her, but the very next shot, he hits a drop volley. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure she was in high heels. Maybe not. But he hits a drop volley, like right to the kitchen. And you know what she said?
What?
She said, "You're effing good," and then walked off the court. That's a dick move.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see it actually take place, but I heard about it afterwards. And
it reminds me of the meme that says Facebook is like a high school party. Mm-hmm. Everybody's having fun till the parents show up. Mm-hmm. Everyone was having fun, and then Glenn Lucy, the old guy, showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think it was very cool. Mm-hmm. I thought Anna handled it pretty well. Mm-hmm. But Rob Cassidy apologized for Glenn to Anna, and then went and had a little talk with Glenn.
Gotcha.
Cassidy is very chivalrous. I see what Michelle sees in him.
Yeah.
So
funny story, kind of similar along those lines. I got interviewed for a Utah news station many years ago. Uh-huh. And you know Kerry Yu?
Yeah, he was there.
So he was there. And so they were interviewing us on live TV.
Yeah.
And we were like doing these rec points, just kind of showing what pickleball's like. And I kid you not, he nasties me. And it's the exact same, very similar situation in my opinion. It's like, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
And I don't know him all that well. Yeah. He goes for the nasty. I'm like, what in the world?
And that's his like signature shot.
Yeah. But to do it like on TV, I guess some people will say it's hilarious.
But there's a limit for sure.
I've been nastied maybe 2 times in my entire life, and one of them was on TV.
National TV during an exhibition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not thrilled with that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I don't think Anna was either.
Yeah.
So Anna and Rachel beat Georgia and Mari. Mari Humberg, another big run.
Yeah, she's interesting. She's got an incredible slice.
Yeah.
she hacks that ball.
Yeah.
She's got a good flick. And yeah, she's been able to get some pretty impressive wins.
Yeah, I mean, she's on a pretty good run right now. So that's pretty impressive. And then in the bronze match.
Real quick, we got to do a quick interruption with our next sponsor of this show, which is
Vulcan
Pickleball, the V Pro Flight. They used this ball this last weekend. We had an interview or a podcast with the GM of Vulcan that we'll be releasing this week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's a great ball. Go get yours at vulcansportinggoods.com.
She actually talks about what went into this Gen 2 ball and how much innovation. And I mean, there's resin scientists they hired.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a big deal. Like, they really went all out to make this new ball, and they're still innovating.
Yeah. Yep. Still innovating, still making progress. There's so much that goes into it. A lot of people don't realize the game evolves. The game changes from literally even 1 year ago. The game has changed significantly. If you even just look at the paddles, and paddles in and of itself is a separate category, but it hits the ball. The paddles are changing. They're getting hotter. So that's going to affect the ball so much more. And so a lot of people don't take that into consideration, but Vulcan is continuing to innovate. We love them. Thank you for the support. Go get your balls at vulcansportinggoods.com. Use code KOTC, or pickleballcentral.com. Use code KOTC0824 if you're getting it in August.
Yes.
All right, sorry.
So just women's doubles. So I was watching the bronze match, and this will kind of segue into paddle talk for a second. Etta uses a Yola.
Okay.
And her counters were nuts. I mean, I'm talking like Lucy and Jackie's strategy, because I was sitting behind their bench, was essentially to speed up and then let the counter fly.
Okay.
Because most of them were going out. Well, they couldn't get out of the way. I mean, I think Lucy got hit multiple times. I mean, it was insane. Like, there's no way that paddle did not delaminate, core crush, whatever they call it, in that match or before that match. It was as hot as any paddle I've ever seen. I mean, it was nuts. I mean, we're talking like, I mean, Etta even hit a ball, like a backhand flick went 15 feet out the back. I mean, it was scary. Lucy got hit in the face, knocked her visor off. I mean, it's crazy, the technology with some of these paddles.
The amount of power these paddles now have is crazy.
And Etta has crazy power anyways. Yeah. So, yeah, that was nuts. But Etta and Megan, hometown girls, pick up the bronze. Anna and Rachel with the gold, and then Georgia and Mari. Yeah. And then Jackie in the fire forehand. She should take the Ferrari forehand from Tyson. At least she shows up to events.
What are your thoughts on that?
So mixed doubles, Tyson pulls out. Says he's sick.
Singles, Tyson's there. The next day, Friday, is mixed doubles, and
he pulls out.
Says
he's sick. Not saying we don't know if he's sick or not, but he leaves his partner Jade hanging. So Jade lives in Indianapolis. Probably spent $700-800 for her flight. Hotel, all these things. He plays singles, pulls out, comes back for doubles. Is there a 24-hour, do you make a miraculous recovery?
24-hour flu. Is that Utah flu?
Is that Utah flu? I mean, he had it at MLP too, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I think that you got to grind through it at that point. Whether you feel 100% or not, you were able to come back and play men's doubles. I don't know. I don't know how Jade feels about it. I'm sure Jade, she's one of the nicer people on tour, so I'm sure she was just like whatever and very nice with him and said, I hope you feel better soon. But for me, if I have any more events with that dude, I'm dropping him.
You say that, but I mean, if he's a top player, if he's a top 5, top 10, more likely than not, you would still play with him, I would think.
Well, you don't even know if he's going to show up.
Yeah, but if he does,
this isn't a one-time thing, Ty.
It's not.
It's multiple. I mean, I don't want to go back and find all the times Tyson's been sick, and maybe he is sick. Maybe he's got some autoimmune disease, or maybe he's putting all sorts of crazy shit in his body with his trainer. You know, I'm just saying, I don't know. He could legitimately be sick, but even if he is legitimately sick, if he's sick that often, you still can't trust that he's going to show up.
So there's a lot more that goes into it as well. For PPA players, to my understanding, and for most of them, there might be some that are different, but most players need to play in 2 out of the 3 events. So they need to play singles and doubles or mixed doubles and doubles or one of those combinations.
Yeah.
To my understanding, who was this, Jade?
Yeah,
Okay,
Jade.
so Jade, she doesn't do singles.
Yeah.
And so she didn't do mixed doubles. She was signed up
She
for it.
only played women's
And
doubles.
so I don't know if that would still count for her because it wasn't her that pulled out, but she still technically did not play mixed doubles.
Yeah.
And so not only is she spending that amount of money for flight, food, car rentals, everything like that, but she's also not getting that X amount because she's not playing in the 2 out of 3 events.
Yeah, because is it not counting as one of her events?
The thing also, at the very first MLP, Tyson also pulled out for one of their matches. Yeah. And I think Zane was on his team, or I was just talking with Zane, and I was like, hey, like, what's going on or something like that. And I still, to this day, remember what Zane said, shockingly. He said they would have to, like, pull me off the court for me to not play. I'd literally have to be on my deathbed for them.
Do you not remember? I think it was Nationals. He pulled out in Nationals. Mm-hmm. And then he posted a video of him driving like his Ferrari, like the rented Ferrari in Miami. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
He pulled out MLP Salt Lake not too long ago.
Yeah.
And then he posted him at the freaking Lagoon Water Park the same day. Now, maybe this is his social people and they're different posts and they're not, but
it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good.
It's a bad look. And I don't know what he posted yesterday or Friday when he pulled out because I'm blocked, but yeah. So it's just tough. And like I said, if he is legitimately sick that often, then it also raises concern if you're going to be his partner.
That's fine if he is that way, but I would make sure your partners know that going in.
Yeah.
Say, hey, there's a chance. There's a chance that I might get sick.
I have irritable bowel syndrome and
got to be close to a bathroom.
And I got to be close to a bathroom. And honestly,
I pulled out one time of a tournament. And it was
he pulled out on you.
Yeah.
When he got sick.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. But this is when I literally broke my ankle. Like I couldn't move, and I was debating whether I could just like hobble around because you only need half the court in doubles.
Yeah, I mean Jay played through it.
Yeah.
So is Jay tougher than you?
Who would win in a fight?
Rafa or Jay?
Jay or Tyson?
Yeah, Jay or Tyson. So yeah, I mean it's just a tough situation to put your partners in. Again, like we said, it's not like it's a one-time thing. Like if you're sick, you can't control it. Mm-hmm. But when it becomes a little bit habitual,
But even if I were sick, like Zane said, unless I was dying, like literally dying, I would still play.
Yeah. Do you think that some of it's ego? Like you're not 100%, so you don't want to go and lose to like a Rafa?
Well, it does look better for him saying, because he got beat pretty bad by Rafa. And he says, oh, I was sick and I took the day off.
Yeah, and then the next day he takes it off.
I don't know. I mean, we love speculating. Jimmy loves speculating.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. Yeah. But here's what happens, though. Here's the other problem. So you have Coop and Zane play Anderson Scarpa and Kate Fahey. Mm-hmm. And they lose in 3, tight one. And then Scarpa and Fahey, in their second round, that's where Jade and Tyson would have been. They get a bye all the way to the freaking quarters.
Yep.
Like that's what makes, or the round of 16, excuse me. And that's where it messes with the brackets. And now, and reality is I mean, Leia and Hayden had a tough go of it. I don't know if you know this, but Leia and Hayden played Rachel and Colin Schick the same time you were playing Matt and Lucy. Mm-hmm. They lost 11-5 and they were down 8-1 in the second.
Wow.
And they came all the way back, won 12-10, 11-0.
Wow.
So what is that? I mean, I do the math there, but I think that's 11, 22-2 run. That's pretty good.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens moving forward. I do know that Jade has one more with Tyson in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And so I think that she's really nice and she'll still play with him, but it's a tough situation.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right.
Real quick, Colin did not play with Ben, his brother, but he did play with Deckel.
With Deckel.
They got to the quarters, I believe, right?
Yeah, and he had a little bit of a blow up.
What happened?
Max Freeman.
Okay.
Well, they started hitting each other.
Uh-huh.
And then he was pissed and basically was like, I'm not losing to this mother effer. Which is weird because I remember at the bottom of that email, that letter, he said that he's a good sportsman and he always respects his opponents and all these things. But anyways.
You seem to have a really good memory of that letter.
Yeah, it's weird, huh? Anyways, he started like getting pissed and was basically, it was almost like an Ava Ignatowicz situation all over again, but with Max Freeman and Ryan Flew.
Yeah, so all those guys, they're good friends with James Ignatowicz and I would assume Ava. And so I don't think they're best of friends. And so there may have been some underlying issues or drama that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But they won 12-10 in the third, and this was their first round.
Yeah.
First round.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's tough. I mean, it's getting tougher. Every match is hard. I mean, you played singles against Scarpa. That's a hard first round. Like, every match is hard. And so, in mixed doubles, just real quick. So James and Anna were kind of rolling. They get to the quarters, and they play Hayden and Leia, and they have a tough three-gamer, kind of a heartbreaker. And then...
For who?
Well, for Hayden and Leia, because they lost, because James and Anna won.
Gotcha.
By the way, did you see? Now I'm jumping around. So, Daescu and Megan Dazan play Fed and Rachel. Okay. 11-11 in the second, and Daescu hooks them. Or Fed and Rachel felt like Daescu hooked them, and they also felt like there's a couple other calls. 0 paddle tap at the end. Stormed off. Fed just left the court, pissed. So they lose 12-10, 13-11. Replay clearly looked like he got hooked. I mean, not hook is a bad word. Hook I feel like means it's intentional. And I don't know if it was intentional. But it was a terrible call. And at 11-11, and again, when games get tight, so do line calls, right? And that was crazy. Those guys did not tap. Andre went to tap and Fed was like, hell no. So that one was intense. So they end up losing that. And then Andre and Meg lose to Mary Brasha and the mixed specialist, Jaume Martinez. He's a mixed guy now.
He does well. I mean, he drives the ball, he speeds up, and a lot of players in mixed doubles struggle with that.
And it was good to have Mary and Maggie back.
Yeah, it was great. They were off for 1 to 2 months?
Yeah. I saw Vinny Brasha came up to me. Let's talk about Vinny. Vinny walked up to me. He said, Jimmy, just want you to know I like the pod. Appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. And I thought, I should have said, will you ask Mary to unblock me? But I didn't.
So I talked to him as well, and he also said very similar things. One of the biggest compliments for me with this pod is a lot of people will come up to me and say, I only listen to your pod.
Yeah.
I don't listen to pods, but yours is the only one I listen to.
I like that.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So good Mary and Jaume made a deep run. So let's get to the championship match. The same James Ignatowicz that we saw in men's, we saw in mixed. He just looked disinterested. He looked out of sorts. He looked off. I don't even know what to say. And Gabe Tardio wins his second gold medal with Jesse. I called
the
Jesse
most overrated player.
I called Jesse overrated. Yes, I did. Okay, let me just be very clear. I called her overrated. She hasn't won in 2 years. 2 years. And she's playing with top-tier partners. And she proved me wrong. So, Jesse, publicly, I apologize. That's a big win. You're welcome for motivating you, though.
Is she overrated?
If you'd like to continue.
Is she now not overrated?
Well, you called Augie overrated, and he went.
I never called him overrated.
You said he hasn't done enough to get the accolades he gets. And he went and won a bronze. I also said the Eskew was overrated, and he won. So, again, Andre bounced back in a big way. So, good for him. The common denominator in both of those matches, though, 1, James Ignatowicz was terrible, and 2, Gabe Tardio. Not saying Andre and Jesse didn't do their part, but so yeah, congrats to Gabe. Gabby, the Bolivian bandito, which by the way, we have an interview with Gabe and Hayden. You don't want to miss.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. 2 golds. Incredible. I mean, he'll be coming back to Salt Lake.
Hope so.
Because, big run. And then Jaume and Mary win bronze 12-10 in the third.
Okay.
Over Pablo and Mari.
All right, real quick, we got to give another big shout out to the next sponsor of this segment, which is C&D Pickleball Nets.
C&D.
The best pickleball nets out there, hands down. Go check them out at bestpickleballnets.com. Use code KOTC to save yourself a little bit more money and supports us and also getting yourself the best product.
How many players I saw running into nets this weekend?
I don't know if
through
it's just
nets.
because we talk about it, but I'm noticing it more and more.
Yeah.
Like the nets we use, they're fine. But when you play with the C&D nets, it's different, and you don't have to worry about the nets falling over. If you touch them, they're not going to break or fall over or anything like that. So it's pretty cool to have them sponsor this podcast,
Yeah.
C&D.
I mean, they are really truly the best nets available.
Yeah.
And they're incredible nets. And I hate to say it, but the nets that are being used at these events now, they just feel chintzy at times. There was issues with, I saw more balls hit the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that this wouldn't happen with but they hit the freaking bar than I've ever seen before.
Like backspin into it.
Backspin into it.
Yeah.
Or fall and replay the point.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it's just, the nets matter.
Somebody posted, I don't know if in the Discord or on the forums, but they said somebody should do a survey or experiment to see how much the net actually affects net balls, like a temporary versus a permanent, and the difference it makes. And that would actually be really interesting.
Yeah, I'd be curious. So,
All right, thank you for the support, C&D pickleball nets. Go get yours at bestpickleballnets.com. All right, real quick, we are going to do a preview, if you want to call it that, of PPA Las Vegas. The tournament has actually already started today for qualifiers, and then round of 64 is tomorrow, Tuesday, and then the tournament continues. This is at Fontainebleau, something like that. I think that's the correct pronunciation.
Fontainebleau.
Beautiful hotel.
Brand new
even
hotel.
A year old.
Yeah, I've stayed there.
You have?
Yeah, awesome.
Wow,
incredible. It's way down on one end of the strip, kind of even past the Wynn.
Yeah.
So you actually have a pretty good view of the Sphere from down there.
I'm supposed to be going to dinner with Mr. Cantino himself.
Oh, you are? Chris
Yeah.
Cantino? Yeah, he messaged me too.
He says that they have the best restaurants in that hotel.
Yeah, I mean the whole hotel is ridiculous. I mean they have Fontainebleau's. There's one in Miami there. So yeah, the one thing that about this is it looks like the ballroom where they're setting it up. I mean it looks almost like a nightclub in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be cool. I don't know how the lighting's going to be, but
yeah, so I'm interested to see how the lighting and then also the floor. We talked about it in the beginning of the show. They're supposed to be propping the courts up. So we will see how it plays, but I'm hoping it's a good experience. I mean, you're in Vegas, you're going to have all the amenities there.
Yeah. Can I tell you something really funny about Salt Lake versus Vegas?
Is this a childhood story about a friend that dropped out of high school?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't have a Selkirk tattoo.
Okay.
No, but Utah. So there's a kid that works for PPA. You probably know him. I think his name's Logan.
Okay.
He just got hired. I think he goes to, Haven.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's his brother, and he goes to the University of Utah. Mm-hmm. And he's talking to Hayden H, and Gabe, and he's like, guys, I gotta take you somewhere. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay. And he's like as soon as I got transferred here, I go all the time. He's like, it's called Swig. And so for those that don't know, because I didn't realize this, a lot of people didn't know this.
Yeah.
So Utah, there's not a lot of alcohol in Utah.
There's not a lot of alcohol in Utah.
There's not a lot of drinking. There's not a lot of alcohol, right? It's very, religious Mormon state. And so there's a lot of
place called Swig.
soda shops. And Swig is like
Utah loves their sugar.
Yeah, and Swig's like a big soda shop. And so he took him to Swig for the first time. And so what it is you can get all these different types of sodas, like dirty Dr. Pepper. They put coconut cream and so yesterday I'm in the VIP section, just getting a drink, and Jackie and Jade are with me. And April, who runs the VIP for PPA, is talking, and I was like, you guys have got to try this. And they're like, well, we just want a Coke.
Yeah.
And April's like, no. You guys have got to try. This is a Utah thing. And they were like, what? Cream and all these things. And so because instead of selling alcohol in VIP like they do at every other tour stop, they had a soda bar. They had a soda bar. They had Annalise water, and they had Dinkum Dirty.
Yeah.
And so we got them their first one, and they loved it. Yeah. And I think that they would be adopted Utahns. I think they really liked their dirty Coke. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking, it's so normal for us. Yeah. And now we're going to go from that to Sin City.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that they're probably going to break records in alcohol sales at PPA Vegas, where we went full soda shop in Utah. So,
all right. Things that we are looking forward to for this PPA tournament. It is progressive draw. I'm very interested to see how the Johns bounce back.
So they will be there, which is interesting because it's an indoor event. A couple partnerships. Christian and Riley.
Yes.
That will be interesting. Deskew and Tardio are back. So, Jay's back. So will Jay and QD, they're both playing in it. Will they have any?
So we'll play Jay and Pat.
Oh, you will?
Yeah. In our second round if we win.
Will they have any hangover coming back from overseas?
I love Jay, but I hope so.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, QD's playing with Wyatt Stone.
Okay.
Rafa and Hunter actually played pretty well in Salt Lake, and they're together again.
Okay.
And then James Ignatowicz could not find a men's partner, and so he's playing with Max Friedman, who Colin Johns said he wouldn't lose to. So hopefully they're on the same side of the draw.
Yeah.
Jaume and Tyson.
Okay.
Zane and Deckel. Do you think Schick and Sock should break up?
I mean, they haven't had much success. And so I think if you've been playing with somebody for 6-8 months and you haven't had much success, then it's not a bad idea to switch things up.
Yeah. Spencer Smith, Brandon French.
Okay.
And then here's one that
Once a bear, always a bear.
Once a bear, always a bear. Both of them.
Especially Mo.
And here's one that I really think that you should keep an eye on. I think could be good. Matt and Fed.
Yes. If we keep winning, we'll eventually play them, assuming they win too.
Yeah. All right, let's go women's real quick. Just a couple. Tyra and Paris back together. They've had some pretty good success.
Okay.
Tyra, I think a lot of pros couldn't get out of, not they couldn't get out of Salt Lake fast enough, but Vegas is always more fun than Salt Lake, right?
Yeah.
Elise and Callie, they didn't play great in Salt Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure that they're ready to bounce back.
Yeah.
Lucy and Leia together. How do you feel about that?
They've played once that I can remember in Denver of last year,
yep.
and it didn't go great. So maybe they've been able to make some adjustments.
AL and Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a really interesting partnership.
Okay.
Tina Pisnick and Anna Bright.
That could be very interesting.
Who plays the left?
I think Tina would. No.
Yeah, I mean Tina is a left side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Rachel Rohrabacher is playing with Georgia Johnson.
Cool. I love to see these switch-ups.
Yeah, good switch-ups.
Okay.
Lacey and Glausman. So those are good ones. Etta and Megan are back together again. I will not make any predictions. I will not call anybody overrated. And then let me just look at mixed just really quickly because there was one in mixed that I was going to ask you about.
Go on. Now or never.
Maggie and Tyson.
Vai. Andiamo.
Anna and Christian back together.
Okay.
James Ignatowicz. By the way, I think we can be transparent here. James and Anna are done.
Mm-hmm.
They're broken up.
For now.
Yes, but they're broken up. I don't think it's a secret. I don't think that they're going to make a public statement. But James and Anna are broken up. And if you didn't see their chemistry on the court, then you missed out because it actually was entertaining for us as fans. Mm-hmm. I hope both of them move on to bigger and better things. Anna, you're too good for him. So,
wow.
Kate Fahey, Jack Sock.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fun.
Love it. Love it.
That's a good one. And then, that's really Gabe and Jesse again, Leia and Hayden again. I asked Georgia, here's a funny story. I asked Georgia when she was going to drop J-Dub for Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
I said, it's time, Georgia. Gabe is better than J-Dub now. I told her this straight to her face.
Yeah.
I said, would your mom let you?
Mm-hmm.
And she just started to laugh. And she was like, stop. And I said, Georgia, if your mom cares about your career,
mm-hmm.
Julie, we need to meet sometime.
What if she cares about J-Dub's career?
Well, I said, if your mom cares about your career as much as she does J-Dub, she'll let you play with Gabe. Because Gabe's better than J-Dub now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
I think Gabe's ceiling would be higher, but his floor probably not at this moment.
And I said, I think it's time for your mom to put your career ahead of your brother's. You've always rode his coattails. Mm-hmm. And Georgia just uncomfortably laughed.
Look at you, always stirring stuff up.
You know, just saying.
All right, let's get into questions. I thought this was going to be a little bit shorter episode, but
Catherine and Riley.
Yeah, I saw that. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, but first and foremost, we'd like to give a big shout out to our next sponsors of this pod, which is Jimmy. Can you sing?
Holy
Performance.
Holy Performance.
Every time I say holy, I want to say holy pickleball.
Hey, this is holy. This is holy right here. This is the pregame. I don't know what I'm pre-gaming for, but that's raspberry lemonade. It's delicious.
Wow.
I'm pre-gaming for something.
For the questions.
All
right, go check them out. Holyperformance.com.
Yeah.
I was about to say pickleball. Holyperformance.com. Use code KOTC. It supports us, and it's getting you the best product out there. Great for electrolytes, recovery, and energy. Nice.
Sometimes people can hear us. I think they can hear us when we're talking about them.
Speaking of. Okay.
Speak of the devil.
All right, we have some questions. We will try to blow through these quick. All right.
By the way, I think that's the first time I've ever been on memes.
No, you were on the seats, on the airplane seats.
Oh, yeah, that's
if
true.
That counts.
That's true. But
I opened it up, and there you are. I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun.
There's some questions about Anna and James. You literally just answered that.
Yeah, Anna and James, like it's over. It's for now. It's over. Hopefully, you never know. Like maybe people mature, they move on, they get better. I don't know, but right now they are not together.
With Mari Humberg making so many finals and deep runs, is the slice limiting her partners and success?
So many. What if she's making so many finals and deep runs? Why would the slice be limiting her success?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. The slice is helping her get to those finals and make those deep runs. She has a heavy slice. The thing that I feel about Mari is that once you play her once, you're used to it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mari's a good player.
There's a lot of players like that. Shelton, Jean Baptiste,
Yeah.
when people first played him or Austin Gridley, they were so unorthodox that it tripped up a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Scarpa's that way.
Yeah.
And then once you play them, you kind of get used to it and you figure it out. But I think Mari's a great player. I mean, is Mari signed?
Huh?
Is Mari signed?
I thought she took a buyout as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I know for a fact Kate took a buyout.
Okay. Jimmy, is it time to stop disrespecting some players? I love KOTC, but now Jimmy Miller is equal to Kloss.
Who sent that?
Do you want me to read their name?
I want you to block them. Just kidding.
Hey, he's got 20,000 followers.
First of all, don't compare me to Kloss. Second of all, who am I disrespecting?
Well, apparently Jessie Irvin.
I didn't disrespect her.
You said she was overrated.
Jessie
blatant
Jessie
disrespect.
reposted my apology. I like Jessie. We get along great. Fun fact, there was this whole thing about Gabe wanting a hug. I got a hug from Jessie when we went to dinner one night in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, that was before you started disrespecting her.
So clearly Jessie doesn't hate me.
Before. All right, what happened to Thomas Wilson? I know he's on IR, but for what?
I mean, I don't think it's our to disclose, but
So nobody really knows. It's been very hush-hush, but we just know he's dealing or going through injuries or something like that.
Some sort of injury that they're trying to figure out, but I think
they claim it sounds like he's on the tail end of that, and he might be returning, I would say, within the next 1 to 2 months.
Yeah, hopefully they figured it out. Exactly.
Tyler, do you see stacking only on offense becoming more common in men's doubles? No, but I will say some of the top teams are exploiting those that are unwinding the stack. It seems like it's becoming a little bit more tricky with some teams to unwind the stack.
And it's easier to exploit it with hot paddles, right?
Yes. Yep.
I mean, you see how many times players are out of position unwinding the stack because of these freaking massive drives.
Thoughts on Sorry Not Sorry's pyramid? Did you see that? Their pyramid?
Yeah, they deleted it.
Nice. I wonder why.
Pickle got to him.
Big Pickle. What would TLs look like? What would be at the top?
Of your pyramid?
Yeah. Dippin' Dots?
Yeah, Dippin' Dots.
Bear Bricks?
Bear Bricks, Dippin' Dots, Pudgies.
Pudgies?
Yeah.
If contracts were ending this year, who would lose money and who would get bigger contracts?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
That's a great question.
I would say that, I mean, like a player like if Riley Newman definitely wouldn't get renewed for the same amount. I think that guys like Gabe would probably get bigger deals. Kate Fahey would get a deal. There's a lot of up and comers that I feel like PPA. I think PPA should go after Kate. I think they should sign Chris Hayworth. I think they should sign probably a Grayson Golden.
Mm-hmm.
I think that those guys are good for the sport and they're up and coming players. But then there are, like Riley hasn't had he's kind of been absent, but he hasn't had a great year by any means. Rettenmeyer hasn't had a great year by any means.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
How's my year been?
I've actually had a lot of people, true story, tell me how well you're playing, how much better you're playing.
Thank you.
I mean, Ignatowicz told me that. Matt Wright told me that after you guys played them.
I feel good. I feel like I'm making progress. I feel like we just need to convert those into actual wins now.
Yeah.
I've been getting to quarters of most tournaments, most of them, which I'm happy with. If I can get to the semis a little bit more.
How was playing with Caitlin Christian?
Good. I mean, that was our second time. We played great our first game, and then the second game was not our best.
Was Alex Hunt there?
He was, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
He's a great coach.
I have not talked to him, actually.
Well, he doesn't talk to her either. He sits on her bench and says nothing during timeout. She actually put her shirt over her head during a timeout of the gold medal match, almost to like maybe so he wouldn't look at her. I don't know. Weird.
Somebody said Ben should pick up Gabe ASAP. If Fed won with Gabe, Ben and Gabe will be unstoppable.
You want to hear something funny?
Talk to me.
I don't know if Gabe will like me sharing this, but Memes of Pickleball posted a thing about Gabe. This was a while ago. And Gabe screenshotted it and sent it to Ben. And he said, "Let's play together. I'll be your right sider." And Ben never responded to him. And Ben doesn't even follow him. Yeah. So Gabe tried. Gabe shot his shot.
Yeah. Even, in my opinion, even if Ben were to partner with the next best person, whoever that is, Hayden, Gabe, Fed, I don't care who you put, I don't think they would be as dominant as the Johns once were. And people are holding Ben Johns to that standard.
Yeah,
of what
I don't
he
think they would
once
either because the thing you just said why, because there's more than one next best person.
Yeah.
There's Fed, there's Gabe, there's Hayden, there, and all those guys can team up too. There's Ignatowicz, there's Alshon.
Yeah. I just don't think people have they have in their mind what Ben did, and they want to see it replicated, and it's never going to be like that.
But Ben and Gabe and Ben and Alshon,
they would be great.
Ben and Alshon
they would be great, but I would put a lot of money that they would not have the same success that Ben Johns and Colin Johns had.
Yeah, I agree with that. But like I said, I think it's because all those guys are newer to the sport. They're evolving, and it's just deeper and harder now. Well, just are you okay?
Sorry, I had something in my throat. Deeper and harder. 24 seems to be the year of experimenting partnerships. Who's the best duo in all events? So just go men's doubles and women's doubles. Who's the best new team?
Oh, new team?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be Gabe and Daskew.
Yeah.
In men's, right? I think that's got to be the best new team right now. In women's.
So real quick, I mean, we're bouncing all over the place, but we had an interview with Hayden and Gabe, and Hayden looks at me. He says, "You can't tell me that if me and Gabe played, we would not be a top 3 team."
Yeah.
And I agree with that. The only thing I would say is there's a lot of teams that I think could be a number 1 or top 3 at their best day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if Hayden and Gabe team up, which I think I'm pushing them to for 2025, at least some events. If they team
I don't know
up,
why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
At least half.
Yeah, they're good friends. They play very well together. If they teamed up for 2025, just for example, they could be a top 3 team. But also on the flip side,
there's a lot of other teams.
If Ben and Christian team up for 2025,
exactly,
right? If Ben and Colin are still there, they're still top 3.
Exactly.
Pablo's playing really well right now. Like, so that's the thing is, if Pablo and James teamed up. So that's my thing is like, yes, they'd be very good, but there could also be 5 or 6 very good teams.
Okay, let's just try to do a few more questions.
Wait, what was the other? Oh, best new women's team?
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, just because they're new for this year is Anna and Rachel.
Okay, I feel like they've been playing a while.
Georgia and Mari could be up there.
I would say Georgia and Mari.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like Anna and Rachel have
newer.
Yeah. Because they played MLP last year.
Yeah.
All right, spill the tea on the pickleball couples, hookups and breakups. Anyone that we've missed?
No, but I posted a tweet about like power couples in pickleball, and I left one out. Amanda Hendry, Jack Foster. They're the top.
Yeah.
They've been there for a long time.
Yeah, but it's not new.
Talked to Cass Hoig. Zach Parks.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, draft cast.
Yeah.
Like, best boyfriend ever.
Say sorry to Jesse, Jimmy.
I have said sorry to her. Jesse, I'm proud of you. Good job.
All right, we'll do 2 more questions. What was the colored stuff on Dayeski's paddle?
That's a good question. I don't know. There's brown stuff all over his paddle. I don't know if that's just what the paddles do, if they just turn color. I have no idea. But I will say this. Megan Dizon and Andre Dayeski, who have had great success with those Proton paddles. Speaking of, Gabe Tardio. Pickle.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for Gabe to get a signature paddle. I think he's earned it.
Okay.
Right? And those
Agreed.
pickle paddles are pretty sick.
All right, last question. Why does Jesse stand so far back always? Strategy, fear, or bad habit?
I think in her mind it's strategy because she's giving her partner room to come over.
I think it is strategy and what she's comfortable with. And it's not only Jesse. There's a lot of women players that do what she does. They take a couple feet off the line. Even Anna Bright, she takes 1 to 2 feet off. Even Anna Lee Waters. There's very few that actually stand right up on the line.
That half a second helps when the ball's coming that fast, especially in mixed.
Yep. And like you said, especially in mixed doubles, it allows the guy to come over and take a little bit more room. And then also, like you said, it slows down the play. They don't need as quick as reactions when they're right up on the line.
Yep. Agreed. So.
Okay, anything else, Jimmy?
No, Vegas this week. We're going to get right back into it.
So guess what?
What?
I'm flying from Salt Lake City to Vegas tomorrow morning. Right when I land, I'm going to the venue to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's only an hour flight.
It is, but if there's a 10, 15-minute delay, then I'm losing my first round.
Yeah. To Spencer Smith.
To Spencer Smith.
Who's probably driving to Vegas as we speak.
Yeah.
When do you drive?
I don't like to drive more than 5 or 6 hours, and it's about 6 to 7 hours from here. I don't know.
6 to 7 hours.
Yeah, it is.
There's 300 miles.
Bro, I promise you it's 6 hours.
6 to 7 is different than 6.
Over 6 hours is 6 to 7.
Please hold.
Please hold.
Maps.
Okay. Make sure to take into account fill-ups for gas.
Well, we all don't drive a Tesla. It's one tank for everybody else.
No, it's not. Not to Vegas.
300 miles?
Bro, it's more than 300.
Let's see. Las Vegas. From right here, from your house.
5 hours and 10 minutes.
5 hours and 10 minutes. So
386 miles.
Okay, but 5 hours and 10 minutes.
386 miles.
5 hours and 10 minutes
You're
is not 6 to 7 hours.
You're not doing that on a one tank of gas.
So you pull over for 5 minutes and fill up your tank of gas.
Okay. Are you taking into account traffic? No, I don't think so.
Where's traffic?
Are you kidding
You're
me?
in the
It's a
middle
2-lane road.
You're in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, semis break all the time over there.
Oh my gosh. This is a guy that's never driven more than.
Please.
Also, 5 hours is not 6 to 7.
It is 6 to 7 because if you're over 6 hours, even 1 minute, it's 6 to 7 hours.
Are you freaking pulling over and taking a nap?
Bro, have you been through St. George?
Yes.
Have you been in Vegas? That boulevard, getting into Vegas, so much
Yeah,
traffic.
but the Fontainebleau is actually in north.
Still traffic.
It's north Las
Traffic.
Vegas, so you don't even have to go to the strip.
Traffic.
Anyways, okay.
All right, thanks for tuning in. If you made it this far, please do us a big favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. We are close to 1 million subscribers. And also join our free Discord and free newsletter.
Yeah.
We will see you next time.
We're like Mr. Beast. We're going to give $1 million when we get 1 million subscribers.